Welcome to Little English Studio, where English learning meets the inspiring stories of the world's greatest people. Here, we bring you powerful life journeys told in simple English so you can improve your English while learning life lessons. Today, we will explore the life of Rowan Atkinson, the man who gave the world the unforgettable character of Mr. Bean. His story is not only about comedy and laughter, it is also about courage, overcoming difficulties, and proving that even the quietest boy can become one of the most recognized faces on Earth. Rowan Sebastian Atkinson was born on January 6, 1955, in the small town of Consett in County Durham, England. He was the youngest of 4 brothers. His father, Eric Atkinson, was a farmer and company director. His mother, Ella May, was a housewife. Rowan's childhood was not glamorous. He grew up in a simple, working-class environment. From the beginning, he was a quiet and shy boy. Unlike his brothers, who were more outgoing, Rowan often kept to himself. There was another challenge. He had a stammer. Speaking fluently in front of others was difficult for him. At school, some children teased him for the way he spoke. He struggled with confidence, especially when he had to say something aloud in class. But while Rowan had trouble speaking, he had a gift for observing. He noticed every small detail about people, the way they moved, the expressions on their faces, their body language. He stored all of these in his mind. Later, these observations would become the foundation of his comedy. Rowan also loved tinkering with machines. He was fascinated by electricity, cars, and engines. As a boy, he dreamed of becoming an engineer. Comedy was not even in his plans. Rowan was a bright student. After finishing school, he studied electrical engineering at Newcastle University. He loved science, experiments, and problem-solving. His teachers admired his intelligence, but his classmates remembered him for something else, his funny faces. Even though Rowan was shy with words, he had a natural ability to make people laugh without speaking. He could twist his face into the funniest expressions. Friends encouraged him to try acting, but Rowan was not confident yet. After Newcastle, he went to Oxford University to continue studying for a master's degree in electrical engineering. At Oxford, Rowan's life began to change. He joined the Oxford University Dramatic Society, where students performed plays and comedy sketches. On stage, Rowan discovered something incredible. When he acted without speaking much, people laughed uncontrollably. He realized that his silence, his awkwardness, and his facial expressions could be even funnier than words. At Oxford, Rowan also met Richard Curtis, a young writer who would later co-create some of his most famous shows. This partnership would shape the rest of his career. In the late 1970s, Rowan started performing in small shows and on BBC Radio. His radio program, The Atkinson People, introduced listeners to his unique style of comedy. He created strange, eccentric characters and acted them out with great precision. In 1979, Rowan appeared in a television show called Not the 9 O'Clock News. This sketch comedy program made him famous in the UK. His performances stood out. He was not afraid to make ridiculous faces, move awkwardly, or create strange characters that people could never forget. His intelligence, timing, and physical comedy made him different from other comedians. While many relied on words and jokes, Rowan relied on silence, expression, and movement. The success of Not the 9 O'Clock News opened doors. Soon, he starred in Blackadder, a historical comedy series written by Richard Curtis. In Blackadder, Rowan played various versions of a cunning, sarcastic character named Edmund Blackadder. The show ran for several seasons in the 1980s and became a British classic. Rowan Atkinson was now a star in the UK, but something even bigger was waiting for him. Rowan wanted to create a character that would make people laugh anywhere in the world without the need for language. He remembered his childhood struggles with speaking and decided to turn that weakness into strength. Together with Richard Curtis, Rowan developed Mr. Bean, a childlike man in a grown-up's body, always getting into trouble, always trying to solve problems in the most ridiculous ways. Mr. Bean hardly spoke. Instead, he relied on silly faces, funny sounds, and exaggerated movements. The first episode of Mr. Bean was broadcast on January 19, 990. It was an instant success. Families across Britain laughed as they watched Mr. Bean go shopping, go to church, or try to park his car. What made Mr. Bean special was that he could be understood by anyone, no matter their age, language, or culture. He was almost like a modern Charlie Chaplin. His humour was universal. The show ran for 15 episodes over 5 years, but those few episodes made Rowan Atkinson world famous. Mr. Bean became one of the most recognisable comedy characters in television history. Soon, Mr. Bean was not only on TV, but also in books, cartoons, and even on the big screen. In 1997, Bean, the movie, was released. It followed Mr. Bean travelling to America, where he caused chaos in an art gallery. The film was a box office hit worldwide. In 2007, the second film, Mr. Bean's Holiday, showed Mr. Bean travelling to France. Again, the humour worked everywhere, from Europe to Asia to Africa. Rowan's decision to keep Mr. Bean mostly silent was genius. Children in China, families in Brazil, and audiences in Africa could all laugh at the same jokes without translation. Mr. Bean had no borders. The animated series, Mr. Bean. The animated series also became hugely popular, introducing the character to a new generation of children. Although Mr. Bean made him a global icon, Rowan Atkinson was not only Mr. Bean, he also continued to work in other roles. In 2003, he starred in Johnny English, a comedy about a clumsy secret agent. The film was a parody of James Bond, and audiences loved it. It became so successful that it had 2 sequels, in 2011 and 2018. Rowan also acted in stage plays, films like Love, Actually, and even serious roles that showed his wide talent as an actor. But no matter what he did, people always remembered him most as Mr. Bean. Behind the laughter, Rowan Atkinson was a private man. He did not enjoy fame in the same way other celebrities did. He preferred a quiet life, away from the spotlight. He married Sunetra Sastry in 1990, and they had 2 children together. After 24 years of marriage, they divorced in 2014. Later, Rowan had another child with his partner, actress Louise Ford. Rowan also had a lifelong passion for cars. He owned some of the fastest and most expensive cars in the world, including Aston Martins and McLarens. He even competed in car races. His love of engineering from childhood never left him. But his life was not always easy. He survived serious car crashes, faced criticism for his comedy at times, and carried the pressure of being constantly recognized as Mr. Bean. Still, he always returned to what mattered most, making people laugh. Today, Rowan Atkinson is considered one of the greatest comedians of all time. His character, Mr. Bean, has been broadcast in more than 190 countries and has been watched by billions of people. What makes his legacy so powerful is its simplicity. With hardly any words, he created laughter that crossed languages, cultures, and generations. Few entertainers in history have achieved that. But Rowan Atkinson's story is more than just comedy. It is also a story of overcoming fear. The shy boy with a stammer, the boy who struggled to speak in class, became a man who made the whole world listen, without even needing words. This is the story of Rowan Atkinson, the man behind Mr. Bean. A story of intelligence, creativity, courage, and laughter. A reminder that even our weaknesses can become our strengths if we embrace them. From a quiet boy in England to a global comedy legend, Rowan Atkinson showed that you don't need to say much to change the world. Sometimes, a funny face, a silly walk, or a small smile is enough to bring joy to millions. Thank you for watching Little English Studio. If you enjoyed this story, remember to like, share, and subscribe, because here, every story makes you stronger, every story makes your English better, and every story brings you closer to greatness.